What's up, guys? So, starting a new an attempt at a new journey in my life. You know, I want to start doing I want to use some type of platform, but I'm gonna start with YouTube, I guess. See where it goes from there. I just want to share my thoughts on different topics and my insight on my journey. So, as an intro, I guess, I don't know, should I even say my name? So, I'm gonna go by Esoteric for right now. Call me Esoteric. And, or Jaded, right? But we're gonna go with Esoteric, because that's my YouTube name. So, first, it's gonna be raw, over time I get more clean with this, but this gonna be, this the pilot, right? So, we just seeing where it go. But, first topic of discussion, I want to talk about finding your joy and happiness within yourself, So, I think typically, I've been struggling with relationships and connections for a good long time right now, right? And mainly relationships. And I kind of think to myself, why, and just what's the problem, and just trying to be okay without it. But it's like I'm at this hill and I don't know how to get over the hill. I'm unable to, and I try to figure out what it is. But the thing is, I kind of come to the conclusion that you have to find joy and happiness within yourself. When we search externally, that's why we search for a partner. We always search for somebody else to experience that joy and happiness with. And if you can't find that within yourself, I seen in this video on Instagram, a guy said that towards the end of the video, and that's when it clicked for me. Like, yeah, that right there, exactly that right there. And I had to sit there and I thought to myself I thought to myself, right? Actually, and it's ironic, I was thinking about it last night, right? And I woke up this morning and seen that video. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. I was trying to think of a time before all the, addictions and all the coping and the escapisms and all the attachments and all that, And I thought about a time, what was the time where none of that was holding me down, where none of that was a problem? And that was like my childhood, when I was just playing with toys, playing a game, watching something on TV, a cartoon or a movie, going outside to play, playing basketball, playing tag, walking here and walking there, scraping up, $1 or $2 around the house. And, me and my cousins and my siblings, we'd go to the store and get us something to snack on. We'd be so excited walking to the store, just laughing. And I just thought of a time like that, when time was just more, I can't even say more innocent. I guess so, right? Before the innocence went away. And what I would say is times were pure then, and purity is one thing that you can get back, right? Innocence you'll never be again. So I had to think about that, right? And it was interesting, the things I thought of, But I realized that's why I search so hard, and that's why it's so hard to be alone. And that's where the loneliness feels like it's just why you feel empty. Realize you gotta either pour into yourself, or you have to fill yourself up first. And the difference is, when you have the quality and the skills, you have to fill yourself up. If you already got it, you have to make sure you are familiar with the feeling is being kind to yourself. Being kind to yourself is, if you mess up at something, you don't criticize yourself. You think about what you did do right. Like today, I woke up early, and let me not say early. I woke up earlier than I had been for like the past week or two, right? It kind of got hard, you know. It's just the process of, you drink and then, you wake up the next day and it's kind of just sluggish, or, you fall into a depression. And for me, that kind of both. It's like a double whammy. And so waking up got hard for like the past couple weeks. I couldn't get up any earlier than 10 o'clock, no matter how hard I tried. I couldn't go to sleep. I couldn't wake up. And then it was sucky. And I was like, one thing I tried, I just stopped drinking, right? It's like it's hindering me. This is holding me back. I can't even move. I can't get up, Like this right here is, I can't hear my voice. Like liquor literally just kind of puts a middleman between you and your higher self, and you just can't hear yourself talk no more. Do this, do that. Come on, get up. And you can't hear yourself, and it's just like, let me just rest a little longer. Hopefully I get the energy. Let me just lay here for a second and wait for my energy to catch up. But no, it takes some, And I think that feeling of that separation, I think, is what was causing me. Separating myself from my higher self is just making my body feel so heavy, And I had to just move that middleman out the way, which could be, a shadow, a spirit, if you want to call it. And so when I realized that, I went and I kind of just say, yeah, I'm done with this. But I hadn't been drinking long enough at all, really, probably for like maybe 4 months, probably 4 or 5 months. I had been drinking like on a day-to-day basis. But it kind of dawned on me one afternoon last week, and I was just like, I don't like this feeling no more. It's not helping me. I don't like when I think about something that hurts, and I'm like, okay, at least I got some liquor. At least I got something that it don't ease the pain. It don't. It don't. It don't. I realize liquor helps you feel, but that's because it turns off your limiters, where you would control yourself with that limiter, not suppressing yourself, but limiting how you feel in the moment and not letting yourself spiral up. I realize liquor just opens up all of that. It opens up every port of emotion, and you could feel whichever emotion. That's why you don't stay angry, you don't stay happy, you don't stay sad, you don't stay nothing, because everything is just swirling around itself. And I realized that I don't have any control over my emotions anymore. So I stopped. And it felt good, honestly. Like the first night was kind of awkward for me. And I kind of had this nauseating feeling because, your body used to getting a certain type of sugar around that time. And I was just like, nothing. So I kind of felt a little nauseous. I didn't really go to sleep. And I didn't throw up or nothing. Like, thankfully, nothing really serious, right? But I didn't really go to sleep till like 2 in the morning. And that was my biggest fear. Like, I don't want to be stuck up all night. But I had fun, though. I was watching TV. I mean, not really watching TV. I was, watching TikTok. I'm watching SpongeBob TikTok on my phone. I'm listening to music. I was playing the game, And I wasn't in the best mood because obviously I was used to being drunk by now. And I wasn't in the best mood, though. But that was comforting. You know what I'm saying? I laid down. I slept on the floor. Had my hair under the air conditioner. And I had a good time. It was cool. It was nice. It was a nice first night. Right? Boom. And so 2 nights later, and here I am. This is my 3rd day or 4th day. This is my 4th day, 3rd night. 3 nights. It's been 3 nights, and this is my 4th day. So this will be the 4th night. And so, it's been that in itself. But to bring me back to my point, I realized I was using things that weren't healthy for me and calling it joy. Like, I'm calling drinking joy. That wasn't joy. It wasn't joy. A lot of things we do aren't joy. You have fun doing this. You have fun doing that. But joy is when it lights up something inside of you. Not just when you could just keep indulging in it over and over and over. Being kind to yourself. Not letting yourself get so down. So, like, when I was saying about kindness, I woke up this morning and I remember feeling that same sluggish feeling. And I was like, it's probably like 10 something. It's probably like 11 o'clock. still can't get up, you know? And I looked at my phone and it was 9:30. I was like, what? I actually, like, just the small things, right? The small wins. The small wins. Like, man, I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was still drinking and smoking, though. You know? It don't get in the way of working. It don't get in the way of day-to-day activity. Don't get in the way of, like, it don't, the battle of retaining your energy, your sexual energy, I guess. It don't make that so, how do you say, intercepted, right? Whereas, like I said, that middleman steps in between, and it's just like you opening up for other shadows and spirits to come into your body and enjoy the things they can't enjoy anymore. And so you gotta, you feel me? Yeah, you gotta move the middleman out the way. The middleman is the only thing, or when you figure out what the middleman is, it's just like a shadow. Like, we don't see him directly, we just sense it. You just sense it. You just know something behind you. You know something in the way. You just can't see it directly. You gotta sense it. You gotta just, it's like retracing your steps, honestly. Trace it back to where the problem started, what caused it. And that's that. You know what I'm saying? So this is my journey, right? Obviously there are many other aspects, which, and like I said, depending on how this goes, I'll continue to share my insight, share my progress, and share just what I think. I feel like I'm trying to solve not just the equation of life, but just how to do better. You know what I'm saying? How to be healthy. Not even how to do better. Sometimes you don't need to do better. Sometimes you just need to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to do better by getting out the house. You just don't need to be sitting in the house, you know, not taking care of yourself. If you in the house taking care of yourself, ain't nothing wrong with that. You just got to be healthy, though. No matter what you do, you got to be healthy. If you gonna drink, it got to be in moderation. If you gonna smoke, if you gonna party, you gonna be out here with these females, you gonna be doing what you do. You know what I'm saying? You know, porn be a thing, right? That's something that's very common. Even I myself, right? But everything practiced in moderation. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that to be an everyday thing. You don't want to make it your life. You don't want to make that your master. You don't want that to be your middleman. You know what I'm saying? Or if, yeah, you know, you don't want that to be your joy. And that's what it is. So everything we do just got to be done healthily. So today I just been thinking, like, what were the things I used to do before I couldn't really think straight? As far as, like, you know, you get into a time in life where you feel like you're just in a mental box and you just kind of you can't think outside of it. Usually you looking at the box, but now you just feel like you just tucked yourself away in it. And I'm like, what did I used to do when I was outside the box? And shoot, I used to enjoy, even when I did smoke, right? I used to enjoy smoking, and I used to play this game called Clash Royale, right? Clash Royale, I mean. I used to smoke at the park and play that, go home, you know, lay in bed and just play Clash Royale. Whether I was smoking or not, it didn't matter. I used to like to listen to music, you know what I'm saying? I like to sit at the park like I am right now. Just sit at the park, you know what I'm saying? Just listen to the songs and just be present. Like, this feels good. This is healthy. This ain't, I can't overindulge in being outside. This is healthy. This is natural. The things that you can overindulge in that won't decline your health, that's healthy right there. You just got to find the things that you can overindulge in. And the things that you shouldn't, got to be practiced with moderation, because we all got shadows. We all got vices, man. We all got a shadow. Every light casts a shadow. You gonna have things that you gonna do to the day you die that you're never gonna probably ever really truly get over, or get, like, never really just truly rid of, because nothing in this world with a physical body is without a shadow. Even fish being underwater, they lurk within the shadows if you can't see one. So I just feel like, yeah, you can't really pressure yourself in that type of way. You're gonna have your shadow. The shadow is what you are. And if it ain't your vices, your addictions, it's your character traits. Maybe people think you mean. but you know why. And if it protects you and keeps people away from you when you on a path or in a crucial moment in your life to greater things, be mean. Let them people hate you now. Let them hate you. And don't be nice and miss your fucking, excuse my language, I'm trying not to cuss in these, and miss your purpose. You feel me? Like, be mean. People don't want to be around somebody that's mean and angry. But that's cool. You use that to your advantage. And you find your joy. You find your happiness. Somebody told me one time, an old friend said, I don't have it word for word, but he said, do things that make you feel like a kid. That's joy, you know? Do things that make you feel like a kid. Don't ever stop doing things that make you feel like a kid. And another older guy, they were both older than me, like a couple of decades older than me, right? But one was a friend, one was just a customer, a regular customer, right? And he said, the older guy, he told me, don't ever let them take your joy. Because I was working, I was helping him, but I wasn't treating him bad. But he just seen it in my face that I just wasn't feeling right. He's like, what's going on, man? You looking down. You ain't looking like yourself. You feel me? And he's like, I was just like, man, yeah, I'm all right. I'm trying to play it off, whatever. He's like, man, dog, don't never let these people take your joy. Don't never let this job get your joy, man. Because once they do, that's that. You feel me? Don't never let them take your smile away. It's like, and I keep that type of advice. Even though me and a friend, we're not on good terms and stuff, but it ain't war. Just not on good terms. And just, misunderstandings, and I would rather just leave it where it's at rather than going to war about it. But, say all I have to say is, joy is very crucial to you. And only you know what brings you joy, what lights your heart up. Not just kindness lights the heart up, joy lights the heart up, right? But you can't give your kindness to other people and you don't give it to yourself, because kindness doesn't come back to you. It doesn't, actually. You don't, just because you do something nice for somebody, just because you're kind to somebody, that's what kindness it literally is, to give without expectation. So when it's kind of almost silly to say they take my kindness for weakness, because it's not. To be kind is strong. To not get it back is not taking it for granted, because you should not have expected that back. If somebody did not appreciate your kindness, or if they're taking it for granted, if that's how you feel, that just means they don't know how to. They're unappreciative. They're ungrateful. They're not supposed to give that back, though, even if they don't appreciate it. Because that's like, I go give a homeless person $1,000 and they'll never pay me back. Man, that dude just took my money. He ain't never gave me no money. Like, you can't say he took your kindness for granted. And he don't say thank you or something. And you just walk off like he don't even say thank you. I just gave him $1,000. But that man is probably deaf. Probably deaf. He probably didn't hear a single word you said. But that kindness is what he felt, though, regardless. But you think he didn't appreciate that because he didn't say thank you. You shouldn't even expect somebody to say thank you. Do it because you know you would need that type of help if you was in a situation. Thank yourself for doing it. If you can't thank yourself, then it's not from the heart. It's not from the heart. It's the ego. You want to be identified as a kind person. You can't be identified. You got to be. Kind people can be seen as an evil person, a mean person, the devil. But that's just kind of what I wanted to touch on. Just finding your joy and being kind to yourself, doing the things that make you feel like a kid. And that's what joy is. Not being a kid. Not dressing up like you did when you were younger. I'm talking about going to your favorite park, eating your favorite snack. Watching your favorite movie you used to. Literally doing the things you used to do when you was a kid, I guess, sometimes. Playing that one video game. I don't mean dressing up and acting like a kid. Acting like a kid, no. But doing things that brought you joy. So when you was playing with toys, what were you doing? You had an imagination going. You built the whole scenario. When you was playing the game, it felt like you were working a completed task. You were exploring this game. And so go on a journey in real life. Explore. Travel the world. You ain't got to travel the world. Travel your world. that might just be your city. I used to walk all around my town before I moved back to, the city. Before I moved there, where I grew up versus where I was born. Moving back to the hometown. Just, get to know your city. If it's safe enough. Even then, like, I'm from Detroit. So, my city's beautiful. But you would never know that if you never explored. You would think it's just a food desert war zone divided by the east and west side. No, man, we got Motown, we got downtown, midtown, you know what I'm saying? Motor City. We got Fago. I mean, man, we got the Riverwalk, we got Belle Isle. We got all type of events going on. We got the Jazz Festival, you know what I'm saying? The Grand Prix, like we got many things that go on down here. I mean, well, I don't know. I guess being from Detroit, it's a natural thing to just say down here. I don't know why, but yeah, it's got a lot of things going. So that's one thing I got to work on. Like sitting right here right now, this brings me joy. So I don't want to go home, but I like being here. But I'm grateful that I have a home. I'm kind to myself because, like I said, I could have been garbage to myself earlier. And just be like, man, you still failing. And I was kind to myself. I knew I got up earlier and stayed up. I didn't wake up and go back to sleep. I didn't wake up and take a nap before I left the house. Like, no, I got up and I was able to stay up. I did things, like help my peoples with this, whatever, just little stuff around the house and stuff, I got up though, man, earlier than usual. And that felt like progress. And I was happy with that. So that's all I wanted to speak on that topic. I might touch more on it later, in future videos. But like I said, we seeing how this go. I don't have no outro or nothing like that, but I do got one actually. It's not. I hope it don't get copyrighted, but I got it from this cruise I went on, and I just ain't been able to stop saying it. So I say, ciao for now.